Hi my friends, this is Amanda, your art teacher, and I'm here today to make the continuation video of my Drawing 101 introductory video. And where we left off, I had reviewed these things. Value in art is means the shading. High key value are the lighter colors, shades, or tints. If it's with white, it's a tint, and if it's with black, it's a shade. So the lower key value shades are the darker ones. And I went over shading two-dimensional, where it's flat, versus shading with three-dimensional, where you form the shade, the shadow, to be in the shape of the three-dimensional versus two-dimensional object. I went over hatching and cross-hatching. Hatching is parallel lines to make a shadow color. And you can do cross-hatching, where you go in different directions to make it darker. And then I tried to explain the different types of pencils, and you can see I wrote hello a bunch of times, and that didn't help anyone. I guess I just got excited to make the video, and I didn't do a good enough demonstration on them. So if you go by pencils, they come in B, or H. H means hard, and B are the soft ones. This Faber-Castell pencil kit comes with an F, and I still don't know what that means. So the higher number you get is the softer or harder. So an 8B would be softer than a 3B. And then it only came with an H and a 2H. It doesn't have like a 6H. And so the harder ones are the lighter ones, because the lead or graphite is really dense, so not much comes out. And then I tried to do a few different varieties of pencil, but I just wrote hello, and you can't really see what I was trying to convey there. And so I will do that right now. Here, maybe my thing is not close enough. Okay. So in terms of value, the higher key shade would be the 2H. Okay, so that's what that looks like. And then I'll go to a 3B, which will be much softer, and more of the graphite will come off, and it'll be a lot darker. So that's pretty noticeable. Noticeably darker. And then if I do a 6B, which is one that I really like to work with, it gets even darker. And they go up to 9B, I believe, but my kit only comes up to 8B, so my 8B will be the darkest lowest key value. Not that much darker than the 6B, actually. I don't want to press harder because then that wouldn't give you an accurate read. And then I mentioned in the first video that they sell these little blending sticks called tortillions. They're like rolled paper cones, and you can blend with them. I don't use them because I don't like the texture of paper on paper. So I just blend with my finger. And you can do this. And then I have some on my finger, which I can use when I go to make faces. And one second. Okay, so that covers the review. And I wanted to do a video about how to draw faces because a lot of people think that it's really hard. And it's not. You just have to know what you're looking at and how to break what you're seeing down into the elements of art, which are line, shape, color, value, texture, and there's some other ones that I don't use as much, I think, consciously. This I just printed out in case anyone wanted to see it. Maybe it can inspire you. I'm not really a skull person, but some people like drawing them. There's something called the Fibonacci Sequence, and I can't remember the exact numbers off the top of my head, but I think each two things equals the next part. So like this part plus this part would equal like a bigger part. There's a slight difference between the Fibonacci sequence and the golden spiral. I'm not gonna attempt to taint my favorite subject with my most hated subject of math, so I can't even go into it. But it's in everything. It's sacred geometry. Please don't make me do math. But yeah, it's in everything, so that's that. Da Vinci, if you want to learn how to draw faces and bodies, you can look at Da Vinci's work. It's all perfect and everything you could ever want to learn from. And the golden ratio, somehow math equals this. I don't know. But this ratio is a way to mathematically prove beauty. A lot of models and celebrities have these lines that measure out to this graph. Like you could put this graph over a face and see how close it is to being mathematically perfect. And then there are these lines. These are the ones I know for proportions, but I'll go over both of them. So I will demonstrate. And if you want to pause this video and go run and grab a pen or pencil and paper and do this with me, you're more than welcome to. It's a very easy thing, and once you can just copy every step. I'll take you step by step how to do these proportions to get a face. And I had Communication 101, and we had to make like a 5-minute video teaching the class of something that we know how to do, and I taught them really fast how to do facial proportions, and I told them to get out a pen and do it with me, so it could be interactive. All right, so we have the facial oval, right? And you know, it's wider at the top than the bottom. So okay. And the eyes are in the exact middle of the face. Sometimes people like to put them higher, but we actually have really big foreheads. And then on top of the forehead, we have like an inch or so of like hair. So if you measure from here to here, it's going to be the same as to the bottom. So highlighted that half. Okay. So I'm just going to draw a line. No, see, I just told you people want to make the eyes higher. It's just what we do. It's just what we do. It's hard for us to not see it that way, but where's my ruler? Okay, 1 second. Oh, it's right behind me. Okay, cool. So if this is a little over 8 inches, we can go a little over 4 inches. Here. Here. Okay. And then we have the nose is in the center of the head. This line here. This is the center. And the center is where you have the little Cupid's bow. Sometimes I have a butt chin. It's not as dimply as it is sometimes. Yeah, so half and half, we have symmetry. I have 9% of computer battery. Let me charge this really fast. Oh no, where's the plug? Okay. And then you can divide the face into thirds. So 1/3 from the top to where the brows are. And then you see it says hair right here. So yeah, you have about an inch of hair. And then the second third, so from top to eyebrows is a third, from here to under the nose is a third, and then, don't let me get this on my face, okay. From here down is a third. So just by doing that, if this is, oh gosh, here we go with math again. I said just over 8, so that would be like 2, under 2 3/4. I don't know, don't make me do that. Yeah, I can't do it with math, even though I have a ruler, I'm sorry. About an inch from the eyes up is where the eyebrows are. That's so much better than doing it that way. So I'll put my brows there. And then I have a nose here. And then you can divide the lower half into thirds again. So from the nose to the lip line, right there. One, 2, 3, okay. So, and then here would be this little curve part of the chin. And then my chin might come down a little more. It's pointier. Mine's not pointy, but so there's that. So that's what we have so far. Now it's going to look a little different, or I might even do a second one here. We'll see. Okay. So more proportions. The inner corner of the eye goes up to the inner corner of the eyebrow. Sometimes your eyebrows come over more, or sometimes they're wider set, like your eyebrow can start back there. And these are just, approximations. Everyone has different faces. Like if you're Asian, you're gonna have a different facial structure than an African person, So, okay. And, okay. The inner corner of the eye line goes down to the outer part of the nose. So, like that. So you can draw another line. And then people are mostly symmetrical. So what you do on one side, you can do on another. And that will be there. And the head is about 5 eye widths apart. And not only that, but there's one eye width in between the eyes, estimatedly. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, and then the other one goes off the page. So if each of our eyes starts here, it's probably going to go to about there. And then I was taught that the pupil lines up with the outer corner of the mouth, but it doesn't on this graph. But mine, on this side it does, but on this side it does not line up with my pupil. It's like way over that way. So you can do, let's say the pupil's here, pupil's there, go down. And then the corners of your mouth will be there. If this is your nose, you have a little cupid's bow, and then your lips come here, there, there, you got the little dimple right there, and like that. So we have 1 inch of hair. So the ears, come I think it's to the eye line. Like the top of the eye meets the top of the ear, like it does right here. And then the bottom of the ear comes down to the bottom of the nose. But my ears are kind of small, so they don't come down that far. So okay, I'll estimate that. And then we have some cartilage, earrings. Okay. And then excuse me. How should we make our person's hair? Should we make it a man or a woman? And when you draw hair, you draw it how it is. I know that's terrible advice, but unless it is short and spiky like that, if it's long hair, you want to draw the hair all in one piece. And then you can draw it like that, and if there's highlights in the hair, I just didn't even take my own advice, I'm sorry. Try to make them long and flowing, like that. And then the neck comes straight from here. It's not down here because that would be too thin. It comes straight down. I just said straight, I didn't even listen. Like that. And then you have esophagus, Adam's apple, whatever. Okay, and then I had the eyebrows here and the eyes here. So let's see, how would I do this? I'll do a quick demonstration here with the dry erase, and then I'll move to pencil so I can show you how I shade and to have better control. I don't know why when I get on camera, like my whole face just starts itching, like from here, everywhere, just, it won't stop. I'm sorry if I keep touching my face. I don't know what that's about. So eyebrows. Draw in the direction the hair grows. Don't do something you're not seeing. And this is where observation comes into play. This is something I have naturally where if I look at someone, I follow the lines of their face, and I know when I look at something how I would draw it. Not everyone knows that. I think it's a skill that you can definitely practice and learn. Maybe when you look at someone, you could try to, like, here's a picture of my grandma. If I were to look at her, I would automatically know the darker values, and then I would know. I feel things without having to feel them. And so I will continue on. To draw an eyebrow, you draw, the hair grows like this. And then it starts to grow this way. And you want to draw it in the direction it grows. Because when you do it with a pencil, you press and then you sort of like flick it and let go. And that's going to give the illusion of hair, because down here is where the hair root is, where the hair is thicker. And then hair, as it grows out, it becomes tapered. So you can like, this is how I do eyebrows. I just kind of scribble them. And then they have an arch depending on, you know, did the person overpluck their eyebrows for their whole life and then they have the cool arch, or have they never plucked and then they have a lot of hair like down there, so they're just kind of bushy. These are all things that you need to notice when you're looking at someone. And everyone is beautiful. Everyone is so cool looking to me. Everyone's beautiful. My dad even says I have rose-tinted glasses. I just see the beauty in people. And especially from an artist perspective, like everyone has beautiful characteristics, and whenever I see anyone, sometimes I actually do draw them. Like, hey, can I draw your portrait? Because I can feel things in my soul, I think. And then to carry on. So like that. Okay. I think I have pretty big eyelids. Like, I think this comes up pretty high, higher than average maybe. I also have like fatty, big old heavy eyelids that are really fun to put eyeshadow on. Anyway, and then the nose comes from this corner down, and then I have like a little ball nose, so it goes like that. And then you can do this side too. And then remember I said the inner corner of the eye leads down to the outer nostril, so we'll do those. And then at this point, I will erase some lines. So now you probably don't need this center line right there. Look. We have a nose, probably don't need that. Probably don't need this. Or this. Or this. So it's looking more like a normal face. There you go. If you're doing this along with me, you should have something that looks like this. And then eyes do not have to be harder than you would think. So I'm gonna say how I draw eyes is I just sort of start with the tear duct, which is sort of like that. It goes, you can even like look at yourself while you do this. It's sort of like an almond shape. And then it comes down. So yeah, pretty much like an almond. Oh, the glare. Okay. Almond shape with the little tear duct. And then if you notice, there's where your eye meets the tear duct. So you can make this into that. And then you have the eyelid crease line where it goes from here around and down. So it's thinner here, so you do it lighter, and then mine kind of, well, not anymore. I've been doing these facial massages where it's like you kind of, I smile a lot and then I get like little crow's feet. Well, I'm starting to. They're not like there yet, but so sometimes if you have crow's feet, they'll be like this because I smile really big, and that's what I'll probably look like when I'm 60, 45. I don't really care either way. So then, this is not just a line right here. You have the lower lash line. So you have like a little bit of area where before you get to the eyelashes. And you can do that here. Let's see what would be best. And then you also have one on top, but that one is not as visible. So I'll just draw like a nice bed for the eyelashes to come out of. Then you have the iris. That is the colored part of the eye. That can go anywhere depending on where your person is looking. Is that too big? No. Okay, then you have a pupil, which is, they're always black. And then you also have a light spot where there is light in your eyes. So I always like to draw a little circle like that. And that will be my white spot. I don't know if you can see. White spot. And then to do the color of the eye, we can do maybe our person has blue eyes. How I do that, or any color really, there's striations. I don't know if you can see. There's like streaks that come out of the pupil. And then they also come from the, outer end. So it's like a line, but I like to do it from the pupil and from the outside in. So you would go this way. Doop, doop, doop. Doop, 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 doop. Doop, 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 doop. I have a pink one. I can make the pink tear duct. That's pretty red. Are they red? No, they're pink. That's fine. And then if you do hyperrealism in your drawing, you're going to want to put in all the little veins and stuff that we have in our eyes. And our eyes are not, yeah, they're white, but there's a lot of color in them. And you can take time and you can like, I don't want to say playing with yourself, but like look at yourself, like say, oh, look, I have that there, and there's some veins, and sometimes makeup gets places, I don't know. And then eyelashes. Now, when I say you do them how they grow, like, you do the eyelashes the same as you do the eyebrow. They're not sticks. Don't 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 do that. That's what children do, and that's fine, but I created this nice base here for the eyelashes to grow out of. And in the middle, in the front, there's my mascara is clumpy, so I don't know. They're shorter here than they are out here. They're longer the more you go out. And then so you see how this one goes that way, this direction? These eyelashes, it starts like this. I'll show you. It goes this way, this way, this way, pointing up, pointing up, pointing, and then they start to curve out like that. So you're gonna have a whole lot of directions. And the same movement with your pencil, the like that. Oh, that's not what I wanted to do so close to there. Okay. And people have different eyelashes. I have pretty long eyelashes. Some people have longer. My girlfriend has like crazy long eyelashes. You can have fake eyelashes that are really thick, or Asian people don't typically have, they have shorter and more straight eyelashes. So then, and then you can go back and add more. Mine come above the crease a little bit, so this is pretty accurate. And then you have in makeup we call this the waterline of your eye, where there's no hair, the lower eyelid right there, and then the eyelashes grow out of the base. So and then you do the same movement down here, and they grow in different directions. So here they're shorter and they grow like this. And then they start to grow curving this way. And there you have an eye. It's pretty sweet. And then you can do an eyebrow. And this has the arch of the eyebrow lining up with the outer corner of the eye. Is that right? My arch lines up with, yeah, it's the outer corner of the eye. So, the arch would be here, lining up there. And then we all have circles under our eyes to some degree because that's where our eye socket is, and there's many circles in the face. Like I took painting one here in Las Vegas, and my teacher had us sit with a mirror, and we painted each feature of our face. Like we painted an eye, and we painted a nose, we painted our lips, and I noticed when I was doing it that everything was circular. Everything is circular and soft. Like the nose, you can do a circle. Everything is round. So you have the circular eye socket, you have the circular white part, the eyelid crease is a circle, the pupil is a circle, and yeah, it was really cool. And I'll do that too. I'll do that for you guys. I'll show you how I paint a self-portrait, and it's really fun. I'll teach you how to do it too. So back to what I was saying, we all have circles under our eyes, and I don't look too tired today. Sometimes they're puffy, sometimes they're darker, you know, depending on how much coffee I've had. When I've had a lot of coffee, they're they're pretty shadowy looking. But I always like to do a little, just a slight line. And it doesn't have to be dark. It can even be subtle like that, but just to do some shading. And then sometimes you can do, have a little mole right there. Yeah, so it's probably a sunspot. I worship the sun, and now I'm regretting it as I get older. I always thought, no, I'll never get wrinkles, I'll never get sunspots, and then bam! Should have worn sunscreen. So here is how to do an eye. And then even in the tear duct, there's little sections. See, there's like a thin line right there. It's like divided in half almost. So I could do that too, just to get more realism. And then if I were to do my poor person, look at it. It's like he has glasses. Oh, we can make him have glasses. Perfect. All right. My dad has glasses, so this could be a hippie version of my dad, maybe. I don't know. Just fill in. That dried out. Okay, so remember what I just said? We start with it. I start with the tear duct. If that's not what you want to start with, that's totally fine. That's just the curve that I start with. And remember, the arch is where estimatedly the eye goes. And we have a pupil, we have a light spot designated. And this person can have darker eyes. I have like a green with brown eyes. They're pretty cool. I like them. That looks terrifying. That's why you want to leave a white spot. And some color variations, because that doesn't look good. Okay. Tear duct. Eyelid crease. Okay, and then I have lines that come, I think they're called Marionette Lines, from smiling, coffee. I used to smoke. I don't know why. Why did I ever do that? And some women, they get like fillers put in there, but I kind of like them. I don't think I would get filler in there. I think it's like a nice line. Like it separates this plane of my face from the more round thing. And I have a little mole right there where Marilyn Monroe had her mole on her face. We could do one of those. Paula Abdul. And then for the lips, there's like a little round spot. So I like to do that. And then we have a bunch of lines on our lips, especially if you don't have lip fillers. And so you can see I have lines in my lips. So you can draw a slight line like that. And then cheekbones. Oh yeah, the other eye I'll draw really fast. So I can get to the glasses. They go behind the ear. And then that's how you would draw a face. And you can do this a million times and practice. I think when I draw most faces, I start with one eyebrow and then I follow the line down the nose, and then I go around the nose, over here, this curve, and then where do I go from there? Okay, I'll show you that. Now, if you follow the Da Vinci proportions, they are similar but different, and these are just some angles that you can keep in mind when you're drawing. So I don't know what Da Vinci was doing here. It looks like he measured out the distance between the brow versus maybe that's the lower brow, and then he measured something between the eyelid. It's not in English, so I don't know what these little symbols are. See, he has the tear duct there, and then the under eye lines. I have some under eye lines, like there, and they're all circles. Like I told you, everything is circular and soft. And see, Da Vinci's neck comes pretty much straight out. I don't have a strong jaw. Well, now it looks like I do, but I don't really. So mine kind of just like blends. But my girlfriend has like a beautiful, strong jaw. She's really fun to draw as well. Yeah, okay. So I will highlight, is this a highlighter? Some of these angles for you. And I'll do this up close. Okay, one of the angles that Da Vinci has is a line that comes from the outside of the mouth up through, it looks like the iris of the eye, and going through the eyebrow arch. So that's a pretty important line. Then he has an angle that comes from the top of the ear down to the outer nostril, to the lower part of the nose, to the outer corner of the mouth. That's pretty cool looking. So top of the ear, down. Like that. That's cool looking. Okay, so I'll highlight that line for you. And then he has a line going down the center. I showed you that one. And everything about his is symmetrical. The more symmetrical someone is scientifically, the more beautiful they are, I guess. But no one is truly perfect because we're humans. We're not meant to be super perfect, but that's okay because everyone is beautiful in their own way. So what other lines are really cool? The outside of the eye here looks like it goes down to the neck. Is that Oh, wow. Yeah, I see it. Okay, that's cool. So we have outer corner of the eye to the neck. That's sweet. Okay, what else is there that I'm playing around with here? I showed you how the inner corner of the eye goes to the outer nostril. His has that. He has the esophagus lines that I drew in the little thing there. The the uh, the eyebrow arches, you can make a straight line going across to the peaks of them. So we have this. And I'm really hungry. Oh no. And it looks like there's a line from the middle of the ear to the outer part of the center of the lip. Middle ear to the center part. Okay, looks kind of cool. Middle ear, right there. And then a line going like that from somewhere at the top of the head down inner corner of the eye going to the jaw area. So that's pretty cool. And there's tons of these little lines everywhere. Well, I guess my nose does come to the bottom of my ear. Depending on how I hold my head. So, what else do I have to show you? Really quickly, I'll do a demonstration on how to draw a face with shading, and then I'm gonna go eat something because all I had today was broccoli, rice, and green chili refried beans, and it was delicious, but that was hours ago, and I'm hungry again. Okay, so I'm gonna use the 8B because it's the darkest and softest, and I want this to show up for you. Okay. I like to do really light lines until I have a more definite shape, and then I will apply more pressure as I'm more sure of what I'm doing. And this way, when I go to erase something that I don't want there, it's easier to erase, so you won't be left with marks on your paper from pressing too hard. So I guess we can just start with, I start here at the top of the forehead. And this can be maybe a 3/4 view, like that, if that were to be what I'm... Oh no, you can't see it. There goes my drawing it lightly vision. So then if this is a 3/4 view, it's not full frontal. It's not a frontal view, and it's not a profile. Profile is from the side. You can only see one side. You can do, the middle line would be starting here, coming down. And then I have a little bit of a widow's peak there. It's like a heart almost. So I do that. Okay, and then proportionately in the center. I have the eyes will be in here. And then I told you I like to do my faces starting with, I start like up here with the forehead line, so it comes down, and then I have puffy eyelids, so they come like in, and then down for the eye socket, and then the cheeks, and then comes and some girls have the cutest, pointiest little chins like that. Like they look like little fairies or little forest elves or something. I have a more round chin, and sometimes I have dimples in it. So and then so it's like straight, and then it comes back to the earlobe where I have that about there. And then my eyebrow would be up here. The curved part is kind of hidden in a 3/4 view. And then I would draw the eyebrows like I showed you. In the direction they go. You don't have to do anything other than what is there. Just start to really follow the lines of the people you see. Like, notice, like, just, art is mostly being trained how to see, mostly being trained of how to observe, because if you do that enough, if you learn how to pick apart what you're seeing and how to like begin to like feel it, and you just follow it enough, then you know how to do it, and then you can work on your hand-eye coordination. And then I told you I follow this line down, and my nose comes to the bottom of my cheeks. I don't have really big cheeks. I have nice cheekbones, but I don't have like, I do when I smile, I have puffy cheeks. So, like that. And then all you have to do is bring this around. It's not that pointy, actually. A soft curve. And then to do a nostril, it's like everyone's nostrils are different, but mine is just like starts here and it goes like that. So that's all you have to do, and it can be one, let's see if that comes under. See, you're left with stuff that doesn't want to erase. Okay. And then to do the nostril, I kind of just shade it like this, up and down like that. And then that might have to be bigger. My nose is bigger than that, actually. Yeah, so erase that. And another thing when you're drawing, to get realistic faces, you want to draw what you're seeing. And I mean, you can make your nose smaller if you want to flatter yourself. But if you want to get it really realistic, you want to draw what you're seeing instead of what you think is there. So maybe mine would go like that. And up and around. And then I have where this part, the curved part ends, I have a little line here because I have a little ball nose. The tip of my nose is like a little ball. It's like round. So I have that, and then I want to, and then that line comes to about the middle of my nostril. So I'm going to do that here. And then the bridge comes straight up to the inner corner of the other eyebrow. Okay. And then I have the Cupid's bow, which I will draw. One edge of it comes to like this little, is it the septum of your nose? And like there's one line here and one line right there. So how would that look on a 3/4 view? And then you have the lips go like that. And let me just draw this eyebrow really fast. I don't know if I left enough space. I haven't drawn myself in a really long time. I'm glad I'm getting back into some portraits. And it looks like my lips come a little bit to the left, like my Cupid's bow does not look like. So if you are having a hard time doing the eyebrows like I am with my own eyebrows, I'm going to draw the basic shape of them, which seems to go like this. And then they curve. And come down. And then the edge of my eyebrow sort of goes in line with the deepest part of my cheekbone. Like I told you, everything is circular. Even this part of your cheek can be a circle. And then you can go out, and then that comes in to your nose in the shape of a circle. It's so cool. It's more rounded than sharp. Okay, moving on. And then, so yeah, I mentioned that I like to use my finger to blend things. Like you saw how I did that with the bridge of the nose. Excuse me, super thirsty. And then for a 3/4 eye, starting with the right eye, it's a little different. I have fuzz on me. So the outer corner of the eye meets with the outline. So it's going to come to about here. And then this almost comes to my nose area. And then I have a crease. And then you can do the lower eyelid, the tear duct, and you can do your eyelashes. And then I like to make a base for the eyeliner, and you can follow this line around and then whoop, give yourself some eyelashes like that. And then, like I said, when you get to the center of the eye, they go they're pretty much straight in the center, and then they go out this way, and then they go, you know, see a little bit to the right, or no, the left, and then they come out this way, they point that way, this way, straight up, and then they flute to the left. And if you want, you can give yourself some eyeshadow. I can take from the graphite up here and just put some makeup on my little person here. And then, let me see, how exactly does this work? Oh yeah, some eyeliner too. I have some eyeliner. And then it comes down from the top, but does not go all the way down. Almost reaches you see, my eye does not quite hit the waterline. There's some white between that. And then I have a pupil in the center. I have I have two, there's a couple different spots of glare. So I'll put in one there, one there. And then I sort of have like a green ring around my eyes, and then they're brown in the very center. So I'm gonna, do I have colored pencils? No, I gave them to my friend. Oh well, I have pastels right here. I could use those too. So I have a green. And then I'm gonna blend. Q-tips are amazing for everything. And then they're like a more warmish brown, like a chocolate. This one. I'll use this brown here. I guess I'm doing a self-portrait for you guys. Fun. And then the pupil is black. And let's enhance the crease. Okay, and then my eyebrows are brownish, like an ashy brown. The same. I'm using these Prismacolor brand new pastels, and I really love them. They have sharp corners for precision. And then my drawing teacher gave us these, which are pretty great too. Very pigmented, but not too chalky like some, cheaper pastels can be. This is so fun. Blend that a little bit. I think I messed it up a little bit, but that's okay. And, okay, this eyebrow. What is that? What did I do? Okay. And then to do the other eye, if the outer corner is where the arch is, it's going to come to about here. Let me do my lips. And then when you do a 3/4 view of your lips, you can really see the little, I don't know what you call that part of the lip. So I do that, and then that curves like that. And it's like up. And then you can just have it meeting right there. Let me just do that, bring it down. It's like a curved angle, and then it comes flat, for me anyway. And then comes, you know, they meet at the corners of the mouth. And I'm using a kneaded gum eraser. It's pliable. You can bend it and use it to shape things. You can fold it over. It's kind of like silly putty when you would use that to make like copy little newspaper things, and then you stretch it out and it pulls the design. This stuff does the same thing. Let's see. Okay, what color are my lips? Pinkish. This will work. Can you see what I'm doing? Scribbles! Okay, that's not a little. Can you erase pastel? I don't even know. That's how it is now. Okay. And then I mentioned I have a line right there, so I would just take my excess shading. It doesn't go out, it goes like down a bit. And then the more you enhance these lines, the older you can make your drawing look. And then I have the under the chin thing. And just blend that. Okay, the final eye. Cannot be distracted. So tear duct comes a little bit in there on the same line. No, it's too close. I think it's still a little. Anyway, I gotta go eat. So I'm just gonna finish drawing here. And then create my crease. And I have an eyeliner, which comes out like that. And then that might be too big, actually, of an eye. Huh. Even your eyelashes are circular when you do them. If you start here and you go around, you're going to come in a half circle up here, and then these eyelashes are going to be in the direction of a half circle. So you can really get into the motion of, so if you draw it there, come back. It's all circular. Life is cyclical. It doesn't sound right. Excuse me. And then I have a pupil. And the white spot for reflected light. My eyelashes. Sorry. That's a pretty big eye. I'm sorry. It's okay. It's just for science. I have on eyeshadow. Blend that. And then I told you I like to do the circle shading. Maybe not that much. That kind of looks like a lot. A little bit of brown. And a little bit of green. black. And then for the cheekbones, you can just use some graphite and then I have on a green shirt. And then you can also use this for the esophagus. Mine's pretty bony, I guess, but you can do that to shade it, to give it some definition. I think and then for hair, I have darker than this. Do I have something darker than that? It's like a gray color. I don't know what color my hair is. Blue, black, lighter at the ends. Covers my ears today. I had it up earlier. And it's like a brownish reddish at the ends. I don't know what I'm doing now. Oh. a little crazy right there. Alright, so that's getting there, I guess. Scribbles! And then I could probably go over it with this color to make my skin color a little bit. I'm just gonna leave it because I'm gonna go eat. And I think I showed you everything here. And this was a fun project. I hope you learned a lot. And I think my jaw would actually come closer to here. So I think you get the idea. And to do a quick recap of portraits, the measurements, the eyes are in the middle of the head. There are about 5 eye widths, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, across, and inner corner of the eye, outer corner of the nose, pupil down to estimatedly the corner of your mouth, 1/3 from top to brows, 1/3 from brows to bottom of the nose, and then the bottom of the face can be divided into 1/3 between the nose and lip, 1/3 between the lip and this little line right there, and the chin. There can be a straight line to the peaks of the eyebrows. And then the Da Vinci lines, again, top of the head, to the jaw, pointy lip part to middle ear, top ear, through nose, down to the nose, to the lip, and peak of the eyebrow, outer corner of the eye, to the lip, outer corner of the eye, straight down to form the neck, and see, I showed you about hatching over here. Where you do the lines to form the shading. Da Vinci does hatching a lot in his sketches. And you can see here, there's some hatching for shadow there. Down the side of the nose, there's some hatching. On the chin right there, there's hatching. The eyelids have a lot of shading, hatching done. So that is my video for you. I will leave these up here until I close out the video fully, just in case you want to jot anything down. And I have my hair shines blue in the light, which is really cool. So I have this blue, and I'm going to add it to right here where I see some of it. It's so cool. Those are my highlights. I don't have blonde highlights anymore. I have a sweet. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I enjoyed making it tremendously. I hope it's a good follow-up to the first video. Oh yeah, one more proportion. There are about 7 head lengths down your whole body. I think I might have 8 because I have a small head and I have a really long body, so I don't know if I fit into the proportions stated, but I'll do a video on drawing the human body. The human body is pretty easy for me to explain. It's not hard. And I'm gonna go eat some dinner, and I thank you for watching, and I'm very grateful to all my subscribers. Yeah, I hope you guys have a happy Thanksgiving and holiday season, and I will make more videos, and feel free to leave me a comment and like my video if you liked it. If you did not like it, I welcome constructive criticism. You know, I'm not perfect, but I take, I want to grow, so if you have ideas of how I can do that, please feel free to leave me some comments, and I will be back with another video tonight because I have an art project due tomorrow, and I think you'll enjoy it. Okay? Thank you for watching. Bye, have a good night.